Hi there, this is Amra's Rabbitry, and today I'm going to show you my setup for processing rabbits for the use of meat. Here we go. Here I have my hose ready to use so that I can wash off the carcasses as needed. Here I have the place where the carcasses hang, ready to tighten onto their ankles, a bucket for guts and scraps. This right here is my means for dispatch. The rabbits they receive cervical dislocation, which is quick and simple and as painless as possible. I can demonstrate what that might be like, not with a rabbit, but maybe with just a visual. And then over here, I have a table, my rabbit butcher knife, which is handmade by a local, and then a cooler with some water in it ready to go where I can put the finished organ meat and carcasses to kind of rest. The only reason I really have a chair right now is because I kind of injured my knee, so I'm trying to rest a little in between whenever I need to carve on the table. So then right over here in the rabbit shed, I've already separated out my rabbits that are being processed. Just 4 Californian fryers today, and what I'm gonna do first is weigh them and record their weight for their age. I believe they're about 11 and a half, 12 weeks, and we'll see how much they weigh, and then I'll get started. I'm going to show you how I do the cervical dislocation. With small rabbits, I use a very much finer metal, long, skinny thing. This is what I use for my Californians. And so I'll take the rabbit, put their head through, and then you want to try to make sure that their feet aren't under there too much, because that can kind of affect things. And then you very quickly stand, grab their back legs, and yank up 2 to 3 times. If they're not, if you're worried about the diameter of your pole, you pull more this way. That causes the neck to break at a more dramatic and sudden angle. But normally you can kind of just go like this, and then they should be good. Just a quick note to say that killing animals, killing in general, is not fun. It's the least favorite part of the process. You want it to be as humane as possible, and so yes, it is normal when your learning curve starts to sometimes make a mistake, and sometimes the animal is paralyzed or whatever, but it's important to strive to get better. And I'm at a point now where I can pretty confidently dispatch immediately without any suffering. Once the dispatch is complete, the animal is dead. If you want to double check, you can always feel for lungs or watch the nose, clearly dead. This is where you're going to start. So I will use my knife, insert here, and cut up to start the skinning process. I like to go up a little bit past the heel just because I use that whole cut of meat. And I'll do the same here, and I'll connect them here, a slit all the way across. And then you can start to pull down the legs down. As you pull down, there's some belly fat here that you have to be careful about. Some people leave it on. I cut it off. You just kind of gently cut it off, and as it comes down, then once I get down to here, I actually will cut and remove the head, and then with the feet, you pull all the way down off the neck, and then you can just remove the feet at the joint. I am not particularly good at this part, but some people are able to remove the colon. I'm just not very good at this, so I kind of go down a little bit on each side, and I come and I free it up from around the back like this. So we got a handhold here. And then I cut here on the tail joint. Which I'm not, again, not a pro, so I'm getting there, but okay, so and then I just cut off the sex organs and such here, and you can see that there's still a rectum there. Also, I'm getting more hair on here than I normally do. You kind of want to avoid that if you can. Obviously, it's not good to have. And then males, they have some interesting organs here that you might want to just kind of be aware of and cut around instead of cutting through. You can see them there. That's the testes. Then we've gotten down and I've pulled and started those arms, right? Now this is where I try to cut the head off, just above the shoulders. It's usually not too hard to cut the head off. It's just a little bloody. And then from there, I will free up the arms through here and pull them up like this. Do the same thing over here. Try to get down to that joint or a little further. And then we finish the removal. And this is where having water nearby on hand is nice. I kind of just rinse off my hand, rinse off the knife. And then from here, you can remove these at the joint. I kind of identify the joint, start cutting around it a little bit, some of those smaller tendons. And once you do that, you should be able to fairly easily get them off. I'm not the best at this either, but we're getting there. So you kind of use a sideways pressure. There you go. Same here. There we go. And then that goes in the scrap bucket. For this next part, we're getting to the organs here. You're gonna pull this thin belly skin forward and start a little cut. And then you'll slide your knife in here and go along this line in the center. I usually try to go all the way down without, of course, piercing the organs. Just about to the sternum there. And you're seeing the large and small intestines here. I did forget to fast my rabbits today. So you see this is a full bladder. The intestines are full. I'm going to show you real quick some of the organs. Right here we've got kidneys. Some people save these and eat these. I tend to. Stomach is full. Underneath the stomach you'll find the liver. So you kind of have to pull these out and then carefully remove the bits. And then deep into the thoracic cavity here you'll find the heart. And I'll show those as I find them. So I hope you'll be able to see this okay, but I kind of pull on the kidneys here once they're exposed. Carefully cut away or slice away the encapsulating tissues and fat. And then you're left with this small inlet, which I tend to remove as well. I keep the kidneys because I feel like out of all the organs, they are the most agreeable in flavor and texture. They're kind of a little bit fine, like, fine-grained like liver, but they don't have the same such strong cat food taste. So I tend to save these. And it doesn't matter, if they're a little bit, see this, yeah, see that's clean. And I'll add these to my cooler. And then for the liver, I kind of pull it out. It's a large organ, guys, this liver. You gotta scoop in and get it out. I just released the diaphragm. So I'm gonna cut down just a bit. It's a bit tucked behind, so okay, there. So it's kind of pulled out now, and you can see the entire organ is right here. And then you can carefully sever whatever remaining connections there are. It's really important to not puncture anything here. All right, and then here, you can see a green sac. It's important to remove this and to not puncture it because this will contaminate anything that it touches. It is the bile, and you can peel it up just like that. There it is, gone. And then this liver can be added to your stash. So in here under the diaphragm we just removed, you will see the lungs, and in there is also the heart. You kind of got to scoop in and try to gently pull up and see if you can get that esophagus out while you pull. I was able to. See, it fell off. This right here is the heart. It's also encapsulated. I personally am not a huge fan of heart, but there's other members in my household who are. So there it is, removed, and I will carefully sever any remaining attachments between that and the other organs. There's your heart. And then you're just going to go ahead and remove the rest of the organs. There's going to be a little bit left in here you'll have to scoop out. And then you are on to rinsing and finishing. Now, as you can see, I'm not expert at this, and so I'm not very good at removing the rectum and intestines here. So you can see the end of the intestines here and the rectum here that need to be removed. I just try to loosen it up on the rectum end and try and pull through and then spray. Do my best to not contaminate the meat. But this is a long process that you'll have to find another video to see someone do it better. And I'm working on it. Got it. That's hard for me, guys, but I got it. I then remove the rabbit feet and reset for my next animal. And there you have it. We've got the completed carcass. The main cuts being these hind legs, this loin section, which I keep in bone, so I remove the pelvis and I remove the shoulders and I take that cut. And then the shoulders themselves, which make for a good chicken wing vibe. I pop this into the cooler and make sure that there's no remnants of organs left. And then whatever's left after I part it out, sometimes I just toss that, other times I save it, and you can make rabbit broth, and you can pick any scrap meat off the carcasses and use it as shredded rabbit. So there we have it. I know I'm not a pro yet. Leave your tips in the comments, leave your questions in the comments. I'm getting there, and I'm sure I'll help you all get there too. Just a quick note for stats. What we're trying to shoot for with meat rabbits is 5 pounds at 10 weeks, which is actually pretty hard to get, so we kind of settle for a little less. This litter was slower growing than my usual litter, and they were about 11.5 weeks, and they're still 4.5 pounds. So it was not an ideal cross, but it's still, substantial. And a 4.5 or 5 pound rabbit will dress out to a 2.5 pound carcass, all said and done. Yeah, so the reason we process at this age is because usually that's the best feed to meat ratio. You put in the least feed for the most meat, and it's also a little bit more tender young. At this age, the close to 12 weeks, you can also harvest furs. I just don't tend to do that anymore, just because that's also a very hard, time-consuming process. But today I'm doing 4 Californians, and Californians are known for a great dual breed, so they can be safe for fur as well. Anyways, any other questions, let me know. You'll have to forgive my speaking and such. I am 6 weeks postpartum, and I can tell my brain is very foggy. So yeah, thank you for watching.